Alright everyone, welcome back to Gilly's Kitchen. It's been a while since we made an episode, but today I've been asked quite a few times about homemade dog food that Tank and Tootsie eat, so I decided I'd just do a video on it. So today, now here at the smoker, these are chicken leg quarters, and this is what we generally feed the dogs, and I smoke it. Occasionally, like in the wintertime, we'll cook it in the house, but it works pretty well out here on the smoker because it doesn't get the house hot. I've boiled it, I've baked it, and honestly, smoked is the best. Cook it till it's done, but this is the first step. I buy these chicken leg quarters. Actually, I just bought these yesterday. For 39 cents a pound, and that is way cheaper than you can buy any packaged dog food, and I know what my dogs are eating. So anyhow, this is the start of their homemade dog food. So we'll go inside and show you the remaining process. Well, somebody smells the chicken cooking, and she wants some of it. Of course, that's a little warm, sis. But she'll eat that here shortly. Alright, we're back in here at the stove. We got some butter. This is butter that I used to age some New York strips with, and I save the butter when I take it off and reuse it for the dogs. So I've got some in this pan that we're gonna put the mixed vegetables in. And then there's a little bit in this pan that got some water in it. We're going to use this for rice. Both of these pans are about 2.5 inches deep, so kind of a deep skillet. Here's our mixed vegetables. There's 20 pounds of chicken on the smoker, so for 20 pounds of chicken, we'll use 10 pounds of mixed vegetables. And we'll use 5 pounds of brown rice. And we put some coconut oil in it that helps with their skin and coat. So we're just going to melt that butter down and dump some vegetables in and start cooking. Alright, so we got the rice cooking in this pan. You can see the water's boiling. I leave the lid off because I want it to go dry. I want the rice to not be sticky rice since we're mixing it with the rest of the food. We want it to be cooked but not overcooked. And then the vegetables, I don't overcook them as well. Alright guys, got the rice done. It's a little bit sticky, but that's okay. The dogs will still eat it. If it is too wet, it'll just kind of clump together, but no worries. So, what do you guys think? Tank? Alright, do you approve? Tootsie? How about you? You better stay away from them steaks. Yeah. They both approve, but she's got her eye on some aged steak. Alright. There's the chicken. Got it off the smoker. That's 20 pounds of chicken. So that'll last them about 8 days. There's a setup. It's a limb number 5. Yes, you can see that there. It's a number 5. This is the smallest big bite grinder that they make. And next time I'll probably buy a bigger one, but it doesn't have any problem. I just think it'll go faster with a bigger unit. We start off with the 3/8 plate and do our first grind, and we're grinding bones and all. And then we'll go to this little plate. I think these are 3/16 holes or something like that. We'll go to that plate for the second grind, and that'll take care of it. Like I said, grind bones and all. When you're done, there's nothing left once it goes through that small plate that can hurt your dog. So we'll get started. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this grinder working a little bit. This is the first grind, 3/8 plate. I got some chicken tore up here, so go ahead and start pushing it down. I know I'm using the stomper backwards, but it works both ways. So for instance, here's a chicken leg. The big bite just takes it right on down. You do have to press a little bit, but this thing has been used a lot, and for the amount of abuse it gets, it's been holding up really well. Alright, now we're doing the second grind, and you can see it's coming out much finer. There's a piece of bone. It's all the bigger, the biggest piece will be that little bitty white spot. Alright, now that we got the chicken ground, we're going to go ahead and dump it all into a bucket and mix it up. Go ahead and dump the meat in. You're going to have to clean up the floor tank. Go ahead. So the cleanup crew's here. I dropped a little bit. He will sniff it out. So I'm going to dump the rice in, and then I'm going to make 5 more pounds of vegetables, so that we got 10 pounds of vegetables, 20 pounds of meat, and 5 pounds of rice. And that's the mixture. Alright. So I've still got one batch of mixed vegetables to put in here, but there's what it looks like. You just start mixing, and that's the rice and the meat and the vegetables all mixed up. One more thing we put in there in this batch, and that's this Vitaflex MSM for their joints. It helps. You can put it on their food whenever you feed them, but we just mix it in the food. That way nobody's got to worry about adding stuff. We just add it already. And Tootsie weighs about 100 pounds, tank's about 120, and this is about 8 days worth of food. So what it says on here is 3/4 of a tablespoon for a 90-pound dog, and that's close enough. So put in 8 days worth, and mix that all up. And occasionally we will mix in raw pumpkin out of a can. If your dog is having trouble going to the restroom, probably not going to the restroom, go in the yard, then that will help. If your dog's going to the restroom, you got an awesome dog. But anyway, you can add some pumpkin if they're plugged up or something. It'll help with keeping their bowels moving correctly. Raw pumpkin, and you could put whatever else you wanted in there. But this is 8 days worth of dog food for 200-pound labs. And the chicken I bought on sale, it was 39 cents a pound. And this is September 12th of 2021. So it's frozen in 10-pound bags. So basically I got $8 in chicken. The vegetables, the frozen vegetables, are about $5 for a 5-pound bag. So that's about 18 bucks, and then a bag of rice is about $3, and you got a little butter and coconut oil and the Vitaflex. So less than $25 a week for 2 very large dogs. May not be that much cheaper than you would pay for bag dog food, but I know what my dog's eating at least. So, and they are doing very good. They're very healthy eating this food. So let me know what your dog likes to eat in the comments. Put a comment down there and tell us, maybe you make your dog food and share a recipe, or give us some pointers, however you do it. This is just kind of my way I made up on my own. So dogs seem to do good on it. Thanks for watching. Alright, well, there's finished product. It is, well, let's see, like there's a clump of rice. Kind of sticks together a little bit. But you can see the meat's all well mixed in, and the vegetables and everything. So, smells wonderful. Alright, a few things probably I'll clarify in this video. For one, you got to refrigerate this dog food. So this goes in our garage refrigerator, and we use it out of there, just in case somebody's wondering. Secondly, you don't need a big fancy meat grinder to grind this up. Whenever we first started, we would chill the meat in the refrigerator after we smoked it, and then we would put it in a NutriBullet, and basically just shredded it up, and we fed it that way to him for a long time. And then I bought a meat grinder attachment for the KitchenAid mixer, and we wore that thing out real fast. They're not made well enough to grind chicken bones. So then I bought the limb grinder, and it works great. People ask how much we feed our dogs. They get fed twice a day, and Tank gets about 3 cups a day, and Tootsie gets 2, and they're plenty happy. Now I will say Tootsie she just turned 2 years old, so she just started on the homemade food. We fed her puppy food up until the time she was 2, just because it has a lot more nutrients in it, designed for puppies, than what this is. I'm sure I could have made it and just added some kind of puppy vitamins, but it's not worth the trouble whenever you have to make 2 batches of dog food and keeping them separated, and trying to make sure you feed the right one, and everybody takes turns feeding the dog. So that's just the way it is. We didn't feed her the homemade food until she was 2. So there you go.